Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. So I do, is this on? Okay, good. So I do dance aerobics and I do shadow boxing. And to be honest, if I didn't tell you which one I was doing, you would have a hard time telling the difference between the two of them. They really look pretty much the same when I do them. And no one's ever going to see that. I do them on an app at home. The only dancing I do in public, I will do some Jewish dancing. Now, Jewish dancing is different from Israeli dancing. Jewish dancing, especially for guys, is you shuffle to the left for a while, then you shuffle to the right. That's it. Right? That I can do. Israeli dancing is a lot more complicated. There are a lot of moves, and that I do not do, cannot do. I took a 1-credit class at Michigan for Israeli dancing, and they told me I could have 2 credits if I stayed home. I'm glad you think that's funny, but it was accurate. The only other really public dancing I would do would be slow dancing with Ruth at an event on the side. I am awkward. I am very self-conscious, and I am awkward. And you don't even want to know about the shadow boxing. It really just looks like I'm putting out a kitchen fire. But I have defeated my shadow 9 out of 10 times, so I am proud of that. And I think a lot of people, and I don't think I'm the only one, we hold ourselves back from expressing ourselves because we're just very self-conscious. Now, there are a couple of people who need to be more self-conscious if you've been to some parties, but in general, most people are really very self-conscious, especially, anything that's out of their comfort zone. And I think a lot of us are taught that we should never do anything in public unless we are in complete control or we look completely competent. We're never allowed to just go out and have fun regardless of how it looks. And I am thoroughly repressed over this, but I am working on it. Again, the dance aerobics. Actually, let's just skip that. In the Torah portion, there was a verse that really spoke to me in a very different way for the first time. It's one I've read hundreds of times over, but it hit me differently this year. It says, "V'tikach Miriam haniviyah achot Aharon et hatof biyada v'tetzaenu kol nashim achareya b'tufim uv'machalot." Miriam the prophet, the sister of Aaron, picked up a hand drum, and all the women went off with her, and they danced and they played the drums. It finally occurred to me that Miriam didn't say, "Okay, ladies," or "Okay, women, let's go out separate and dance." Miriam started dancing, but the men were afraid to follow. The women in this story were connected to mind, body, and soul. They were able to sing, they were able to dance, they were able to be fully themselves, but the men didn't join in and they just stood on the sidelines. Because again, it doesn't say that only the women were invited. Miriam began and only some joined in. That occurred to me for the very first time this week. And I think there's a power in there of what the Torah is trying to teach us is that what made Miriam great, she's not a prophet because God speaks to her directly and tells her what to do. What makes her a prophet is that she is able to channel joy in challenging situations. The people make it through the sea, but they haven't landed yet in the promised land. right? They're only out of danger for a moment, but she says, even in this moment, we can find joy and we can express our joy with our entire selves, with our voices, with our minds, our souls, and our bodies. And I think that that's what's so powerful here. And this is actually the very first time that dancing is mentioned at all in the Torah. Miriam is the very first person to dance in the Torah. And she brings other people in as well and lets them know that joy has to come from all of us and that we all have that capacity. You know, we're often told, dance like no one's watching. I think that we should find a way to dance like everyone's watching, and then maybe someone will join in. Shabbat Shalom.